Hi and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to take a look at Helium. Helium is a very interesting project. I've opened it up here in CoinGecko. It gets a strong buy. It has had a nice bump in August, and as long I think as it can stay above $1, then it has a nice future. But I am not looking to buy the token. Nope, I'm looking to earn the token. When you go to helium.com, you will find out that Helium is focused on creating the people's network. And the whole idea is to create a decentralized wireless infrastructure, meaning that everything that uses the Internet of Things, think about a dog collar to track your dog, think about a cheap way to track all the cars in your fleet, think about sensors and stuff to measure leaks in your house or in public infrastructure. Anything that you want to track can be put on the Internet of Things. But of course, you need a network to support it, and preferably a network that is cheaper than the cellular network. When we click on use, we will get a few use cases, and immediately the one that pops out, of course, is Salesforce, and that is not a bad example to have. So when we scroll down, you have a little bit of a calculator to see how much it costs. Let's say we have 100 cars driving around. We will ask them to send a location update every 50 minutes per hour, and then we'll see what the cost will be per device, which is less than 1 cent a day. So yes, that is cheap, and that is immediately the point that Helium makes, is that their solution is cheaper than your regular telecom company. You have a little comparison chart right here. Then when we take a look at competing technologies, they take a look at the LongFi, which is what this technology uses. Then we have Wi-Fi, it's up to 300 feet, and then we have Bluetooth, of course, that was never meant to go long distance. And then we have a bunch of examples. I suggest that if you're interested in this, take a look. So we have tracking systems, we have more tracking, we have sensors that can be used. Here's another example of sensors used to detect leaks, and so on. Then of course we jump on to the next part, which is the earn part. So how do you earn? Well, basically you have to provide a service to the network. So you have to become part of the network, and that's something you can do by buying the hardware or creating the hardware yourself. So they have provided solutions for external parties, or you can just assemble something yourself with parts you find online. Or the easiest way, of course, is that you buy a Helium Hotspot. Once you have joined the gang of Helium warriors, then you will earn rewards. So how are the rewards distributed? Well, 66% goes to the community, and then 34% goes to the Helium company and the investors. In the beginning, most of it will go to proof of coverage, and most of it does seem like 90%, and then the rest goes to the data usage. That will be the situation today. The whole idea is, of course, to create the network, so everybody is going to get serious rewards by providing network coverage in their area. So basically, if you get in quickly and you provide decent coverage in your area, you will be rewarded handsomely. Then, of course, once we have serious coverage, the idea is to have a nice balance between coverage and the data processed. As I mentioned before, to start mining, you will have to buy a mining device or create one your own. If you're going to buy the Helium one, it will not be cheap, sadly. Let's just take a look at Europe. How much will it cost if we buy it for Germany? Well, basically everywhere it is 450 euros if you would like to buy one. And that, of course, is a serious investment. Before we continue, let's dig in a little bit deeper. So the rewards are distributed in 5 ways. So there is a small percentage going to challengers, then a bit more to proof of coverage, then witnesses, network data transfer and the consensus group. Now, the way I understand, if you only buy one hotspot, the only thing you can get is this one. So if you have multiple hotspots in your area, you either put them there yourself or you have already people active in your area, then I think you are able to get the proof of coverage and witnesses. And then if there are companies using the Internet of Things, then you will be getting network data transfer rewards. When we move on to the developer section, we will get a lot more info on how mining and token rewards work and how it will work per block time, epoch size, everything you want to know, and a few examples as well. So if you want to dive in further into the analysis, be sure to check out the Helium developer documentation. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at this website, which is Sidebot. There is another one. So everything that's on the blockchain, of course, is public. They collected all this data and made it into a very convenient website. So for example, we can take a look at the earnings made in general or today. So let's take today. Here we can see a day-to-day analysis, and each of the hotspots gets a funny name, like these ones. To be honest, if you remember looking at CoinGecko, and we'll quickly go back, the price of a Helium token right now is above $1. So I am very surprised to see that this person must have had a very pleasant day on the 2nd of October, because he gathered an insane 12,000 tokens, 6,000 on the 4th, 12,000 on the 5th. How the hell he's doing that, I have no idea. But even these guys are not doing bad. $300, $400, $600. These are, of course, exceptions. When we take a look at, let's say, the country list, it immediately becomes clear that they are well represented in the US. They have over 8,000 hotspots, and if you see the rewards earned, then it doesn't take much to see that all the rewards are being earned in the US. Now, I want to take a deeper look at how people are earning, what the average earning is. So I think the easiest thing that we can do is take yesterday's earnings, because that's a full day, and divide it by the number of hotspots. In the US, apparently they're doing very well, because they earned on average 22 euros yesterday per hotspot. Now, if we jump over to the UK, they still got about 10 euro per hotspot, or $10, I'm sorry. Looking at Canada, we get a very respectable $18. But then when we look at the rest of Europe, we are getting a very different picture. Germany, for example, on average only gets about $5 to $6 per day. Switzerland is doing pretty well. They end up with about the same as Canada, probably because they have better locations, better line of sight thanks to the mountains. That is my quick guess. Then we have the Netherlands, where we see similar earnings per hotspot of about $9 to $10 per hotspot. Then we have France, which is doing pretty bad. It's only about $1 per hotspot. Belgium seems to be doing really well with only 25 hotspots and over $20 per hotspot on average. So we're going to zoom in, and then we can see the different hotspots per location. And you also see the owner address. And I think the first thing that you will notice is that some of them are earning very little. Of course, they can be very new if you don't see any averages in the past weeks. Others are just not earning anything at all, basically. So I think it's interesting to take a look at who's earning a lot. I think the first thing that we notice is Liège and Antwerp. These, of course, are a bit bigger cities. So when we select the address, we notice that there is not one hotspot in this location, but there are 3 hotspots. Who else is doing well? Let's say this one. We also notice that this person also has multiple hotspots in the same area, because Aartselaar is close to Antwerp, and he has 4. Let's take a look at this one. So he also has more than 1 hotspot. So when we just take a look at this list, we notice that as soon as there are multiple hotspots available, you are earning more rewards. So based on this very limited analysis, I'm going to purchase a hotspot, see what happens in a week, then we'll connect a second hotspot, see how that improves, and then we'll add a third hotspot, as that seems to be the sweet spot. Now, I'm living in a very small town, so it's not comparable to Berlin, Lisbon, or any of the other big cities. So it will be very interesting to see if you can earn rewards with 3 hotspots in a smaller town, which is a bit more remote than the bigger cities. So if you're interested in the results of this project, which is of course not your average crypto project, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if you're interested in this project yourself in the comment section, or if you have some good ideas for me to test out, or if you just like the video, just post a comment. Make sure you subscribe. That will help me a lot to grow this channel, as it's still very new, so every support is greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Thanks.